And you can pretty much do it
Felger and Mazz.
in perpetuity.
Yep. The Sports Hub.
The tip goes wide, rebound. Swayman eats that puck up, and then Benson. And here we go again as Tuck wants a piece of Zadorov. The linesman trying to separate those two. Zadorov goes right back at him.
Zadorov responds to the stick that was shoved into Swayman after he made the save.
Peak went back at Thompson. We still have 13:46 remaining here in the third period of Game 2. And again, it starts to bubble up. Back of the net. Thompson gets in. Benson and Peak grab one another. Thompson trying to get free. Peak and Benson still wrestling away. Now they're going to throw him. Peak and right hand. These guys have been battling here for minutes. Oh, Benson just threw it right with his glove on. Geeky now heads to the penalty box. Thompson's getting escorted off the ice, and he is hearing it from the Bruins bench right now. And we'll see how this gets sorted out. We've got ourselves a series.
Well, it was kind of a mess, and there's a lot to talk about, but the long and short of it is that the Bruins come home 1-1, and they do have a series with the Buffalo Sabres now in the first round. That's where we'll begin. There's a lot to get to. A lot of bleep shows last night, Mazz. Your Red Sox are a bleep show. Celtics loss was a bleep show. So we'll get into all of it with you at 617-779-0985. But let's start Bruins because I think that was the most interesting finish last night among the three. And, well, do you have any thoughts, Mazz, before I proceed?
I give the Bruins a lot of credit. I thought they withstood sort of an attack at the beginning. I thought they were on their heels a little bit early and then kind of mucked it up in the middle of the game and slowed it down. And good for them. This is the way they're going to have to beat this team. So I was impressed by the Bruins last night, if you want to know the truth. Because, look, it's a team that was kind of thrown together. They obviously had a good regular season. Nobody's really expecting anything, and they're still playing their asses off. So it's like somebody forgot to tell them that the league doesn't really look at them as any sort of serious threat. And so I found last night to be wildly entertaining. I thought that game was terrific to watch, and it's the kind of team that I think Bruins fans can get behind because of the physical aspect of that game and the way they, Zadorov's knocking people on their ass. Like, it just, to me, it was a fun game to watch if you're a Bruins fan.
It was. They showed you can bully this Buffalo team, but I liked it to an extent in that they almost gave the thing away, or they made it more stressful than it should have been in that third period because I thought the bullying went a little too far in that. So, okay, they're clearly targeting Tage Thompson like you wanted, Mike, and that was great. You get him off the ice, and that's a good thing. But what's the trade-off then when you're losing better defensemen for 10-minute misconducts, which leads to Mason Lowry getting on the ice for way too long, and he's standing around like an idiot watching two goals go in, and all of a sudden it's like, okay, we have a game all of a sudden? Ugh. So that felt like that was, again, I liked what they did. I want them to bully Buffalo. It shows that you can do that, but to an extent, you know what I mean? I thought that almost blew up in their face.
Well, I think it started with the McAvoy low bridge hit, which was cheap.
It was. That was a dirty hit.
It was dirty.
Dirty hit. Hasn't gotten a ton of commentary after the game. Buffalo, I don't think, was really carping about it too bad. I don't think it's going to go anywhere from there. But make no mistake, that's a borderline, probably on the wrong side of the borderline kind of hit. And not that I hate it, frankly. But let's just call it for what it is. That was a dirty hit by McAvoy. I think it all started there. But my two takeaways are how the game ended. And that was, one, I think you've drawn Buffalo into this thing.
Definitely.
Which benefits you. And I'll tell you why it benefits you. It doesn't benefit you because you're necessarily bigger or tougher. I don't know if the Bruins are bigger and tougher than Buffalo. Buffalo's got some fringy, tough, scrappy guys. I've seen the hits. They've hit you just as hard as you've hit them, if not more. So I don't know. I mean, no one's as big as Zadorov, but you take him out, and I'm not sure you're bigger. I'm not sure you're tougher. I don't care. I still think Buffalo is the quicker, more skilled team. Now, note, I haven't said better because I don't know necessarily that they're better because better includes goaltending. But in terms of the skaters, Mazz, don't we still think Buffalo is a quicker, more skilled team?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think that's really even debatable.
Me neither. Okay. If you add in goaltending, could you be a better team? If you add in coaching, goaltending, intangibles, could you be a better team? You could be. But I don't think you're ever going to be more skilled or as quick or as more skilled than them. So this is all a long way of saying, if you can get them preoccupied with this other stuff, that's a win for you. Whether you're bigger or tougher or not. It's just the Sabres going there.
They're playing your game.
Takes attention and energy away from what they should be doing, which is skating circles around you and pressuring you on the forecheck and pressuring you with their quickness and sticks in your zone because you still, and here's my second point, are a panic sandwich when it comes to playing in your own end. And that came out at the end of that game. And you somehow survived it. But that's still there. You wanted to give a 4-goal lead away. They pulled their goalie with 6 minutes left.
I know.
5 minutes left. You can't hit an open net.
How many chances do they have to get another goal? How many chances?
Okay, so
Sorry.
So those are my two takeaways. You have successfully drawn Buffalo down market. You've diverted attention away from what they should be focused on, which is just skating around your ass. Okay, good, win. You're still an accident waiting to happen. On that first thing, there was a pregame comment that kind of got lost in the shuffle because Marco Sturm said it on a Friday and they played the game one on Sunday, and it got attention in Buffalo, not a ton here, but Sturm made a comment about being the bigger, tougher team. And they should be scared of us and something like that. They definitely heard that in Buffalo and are reacting to it, which I just think is so amateur by them.
Including the coach.
Here's Lindy Ruff. Jimmy Stewart, if you could. I'm sorry, Lindy Ruff, post-game, asked about the physicality and all this sort of stuff.
Do you expect that temperature in the series to kind of go up a little bit between the McAvoy hit and, the Zadorov thing and things like that? Like that maybe they'll try to drag you into more of some of that?
Yeah, well, you heard he said they're bigger and more physical. So, yeah, for sure. I'm a little worried.
Lindy, would it be any possibility?
He's laughing. He said it with a smile. He's like, oh, yeah, I'm worried about their big. But, the fact that comment, you're the favorite. You're better than them in most respects. Why are you worried about them chirping? Dummies. And this is something Bruins fans still don't get. The bigger, tougher team doesn't always win. Usually, almost always, it's just the better team. You don't need to be bigger and tougher. So what do the Sabres care?
No, they shouldn't. It's weird. It always hit them in some sort of primal instinct of oh, you don't think we're tough? I'm sure you were tough.
No, that's exactly what it is.
That's not your game. You've now devolved into something you're not, which is...
And I just want to say, Murray, it can be their game. I mean, I don't think they're a soft team. I think they're tougher than people give them credit for. They had what was the game of the year, majority? What was that? It was Sabres.
It was a 7-6 game. Or the one
I know the one you're talking about.
Sabres Lightning, I want to say.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Where they
8-7 was the final.
Yeah, they thought it was going to be a first-round preview at the time. And so they had one of those yard sale kind of games, and Buffalo can do it. I'm not telling you they're a bunch of wussies, but I'm just telling you, if you're skilled and quicker than the other team, why are you doing that? You don't need to do that.
No, it's a lack of focus thing. Again, they can do it. They have some tough guys on that team, but this is now, they're losing focus. We're not tough. Okay. We'll show you we're tough.
See, but I'm surprised that the coach took the cheese. Except that in his career, he was precisely the kind of guy that was ratty.
He was kind of but he's been coaching for so effing long. He's kind of the guy that falls into it.
So that's the part that surprises me.
He's got rabbit ears.
Like you would think at this stage of his existence, he'd have an understanding that they're the more skilled team and they should play to their strength, and he's getting sucked into it.
So that's the one thing. And then the panic sandwich. I think the panic sandwich on your end was exemplified by something I've never seen before. And that is a player on the ice calling a timeout. And not that they granted it to Jeremy Swayman, but after the second goal, so you're up 4-0, they pull their goalie with 5+ minutes left, and they start scoring. And they score their second goal with the goalie pulled because you can't get your head out of your ass and you can't get the puck out of your zone and you can't put it in the ocean. You can't put it in an open net. Was it Kastelik who missed the wide open gaping net? Was it Kastelik? I want to say it was. And so they score again on a scramble in front of the net, hits the post off of Swayman between his, like, blah, blah, blah. So now it's 4-2. Now the building's up. And Swayman is the one that starts frantically pointing to the bench, timeout. Because Marco Sturm did not do that in game 1. And so I have to wonder, was Marco Sturm not going to do it again? Did Swayman had to make sure that his coach wasn't falling asleep at the wheel? And hey, Marco, let's stop this here. And the goalie had to do it for him. See, I don't take this as a good sign. It's like, I don't know. I've just never seen it. And let me tell you, if another puck or two dribbled in, we'd look back at this and go, what a fire drill. You got players out, the goalie? Have you ever seen a goalie pull up
Never.
after goalies and he's the one calling timeout?
No.
I thought he wanted a challenge.
I don't think I've ever seen a player on the ice do it, let alone, I don't think I've ever seen it.
I don't think, so I guess I've never seen it, so I don't even know. Is a player on the ice allowed to call it? Like in basketball, the player can call the timeout. In football, the player can call the timeout. Is a player even allowed to call a timeout? Well, either way, he was going to the bench because he wanted the bench to call the timeout, which they did. Then after the fact, Marco Sturm's carrying on like he called it. Go ahead, Jimmy. Do you have the Marco Sturm?
Marco, they get it to 4-2. You call the timeout. What's the message in that moment?
You did?
No, just to calm everything down. We've been through it. Just to regroup again. Make sure, guys, it's about the team. It's about the win, not about anything else. And, I know that the crowd, you guys know it too. They're pretty good. They're behind him. They're pushing him. They feel it. And I thought today was the right time to do it.
So he's carrying on like he was in command of the situation. I don't know. I think the goalie the goalie is the one that woke him up. The goalie certainly thinks he's the one that woke him up. Let's hear from this guy, Jeremy Swayman, postgame.
I think it was a little bit of a momentum shift. But I knew we weren't going to have a TV timeout after a goal call, so it was just important to get everyone to take a breath. We know that we have a standard to play at, and I thought that momentum shifted a little bit, and a ton of kudos to my group for responding extremely well.
My group.
Unbelievable.
He did that a couple times last night. My group, my guys. My group.
A ton of kudos to my group for responding extremely well.
My group. Well, but listen, this guy, you know how I feel about Swayman. Please. However, who sounded more like he was in command of the situation?
Jeremy
Swayman did.
Did Marco Sturm mention the TV timeout?
No. I don't even think he knew that existed.
TV timeouts come at the 14-minute mark, inside of 10 and inside of 4, I want to say. You watch a lot of hockey, you sort of know when those TV timeouts are coming. Jeremy Swayman knew when they were coming. Did the coach? Was the coach even going to call a timeout?
Good question.
Or did it take that yuts?
A ton of kudos to my group for responding extremely well.
And his guy.
My group that goes right up my ass.
He did that a couple of times last night.
It goes right up my ass.
My guys, my group.
A ton of kudos to my group for responding extremely well.
He makes it so hard to root for him.
So do you feel better or worse about the Bruins in the lake? I feel worse. The goalie had to call the timeout. The goalie's carrying on like he's the coach, my group, my guys, while my TV timeouts. The coach is like, I had to, settle the group down. Like, I don't even think you knew what was going on, man.
No, it's a reminder that he's a rookie head coach. He hasn't been in this situation before in a playoff game. I don't think he knew what the hell was going on. He's got a lot to learn.
This Bruins team at the end of these games.
Oh, my God.
Panic sandwich.
Oh, big time. No, yeah, it's one of those 6-foot subs, too. Seriously. It was, I when it got to 4-2, I went, uh-oh, here we go.
When they kept missing the open net time and again, that's what I started to think, they might actually blow this thing.
I started getting texts from people saying, are they going to blow this?
Yes. Games are fun, though.
Cross my mind.
Your thoughts to your phones right after these words.
A ton of kudos to my group for responding extremely well.
Boston's best sports talk. You can count on it.
2 plus 2 is a 5.
Me sento un po' pacchiato perché Roma Felger and Mazz.
Pasternak keeps it loose for Geekie coming toward the red line. He'll backhand a floater. That goes in! Are you kidding me?
Geekie with a backhand floater toward Luukkonen. It bounced through him, and the Bruins get a gift. They're up 2-0.
It's a throwaway. He's just trying to get off the ice on a line change. It's a backhand dump in from just inside the red line. And then he turns and goes to the bench. I don't even know if this puck bounced, Ryan. He came way out to play it. Yeah, it did. It took one short hop in front of him. But he was well out past the crease. He could have come out a little bit further to play that puck. And it took a bad bounce on him.
So Geekie with goals in back-to-back games. And with 3:31 to go in the second, Bruins have a 2-0 lead, and the crowd's stunned here at KeyBank Center.
Uka Saka.
Puka Springer leaking in.
Uka Saka. Uka Saka. Uka Saka. Jim Louth just said, I'm sorry to cut you off, if that happened to Jeremy Swayman, this would be 4 hours of this today.
Oh, boy.
This is another one that I came up with last night. Uka. Rhymes with?
Tuca.
Interesting. Bronze medal game coming right up.
Oh, yeah.
Also rhymes with puka.
Those Finns?
It's all kind of the same thing.
Just destined for the bronze medal game.
What a freaking gag. Holy crap, that was unbelievable.
To your call, Spencer in Georgia on Jeremy Swayman. Go ahead, Spencer.
Yeah, last night was rough. I count 2 moral losses and almost a fake win. It was funny with Swayman when he reached up for the timeout. My 15-year-old son said, he's crapping. And I just got to ask you guys, knowing Swayman, was that timeout like him wanting to get with his like chakra and inner peace, or was he thinking about the team and being a leader in that moment?
I think, Spencer, he was doing it because he knew Sturm wasn't going to. I was just talking to Ty in the break. I didn't realize this, that Sturm doesn't believe in timeouts. It's like a thing with him, which I was not aware of. I mean, I don't, they're really not that important in a regular season context. It's not often that the game's that important where you would do something like that.
But they're there to help you. Why would you not believe in them?
I don't know. But apparently it's a thing. I mean, he did have a chance to do it in game one. He was asked about it after the game. After game one, he was very definitive. Did you ever think to give him a timeout? He's like, no. So he's like, got a thing. So my guess is Swayman, I take him at all the things that he said. Momentum was shifting. The TV timeout wasn't coming until the next whistle. We were going to have to go right. This happened to us 2 nights ago. And it was time to get a timeout. He forced Sturm to call the timeout. Good for him.
I give him credit for it, absolutely.
But I just think it speaks to you're just a bleep show at the end of these games. You're pants crappers. Even in victory. Lewis in the car. Go ahead, Lewis.
Hello. First, I just want to say it was nice to see us getting ahead of that weasel, Thompson. But I want to say the Boston Bruins will never, ever win because they crap their friggin' pants more than any sports team in the history of sports. It doesn't matter if they're the 7th seed, if they have the best goddamn record in the history of the NHL, if it's Tuukka Rask, Linus Ullmark, Jeremy Swayman, it doesn't matter. They're never going to win.
Brown and yellow. Tage Thompson. So, back to the first point, which is I think you've drawn Buffalo into a thing that's not going to help them. Tage Thompson took a 10-minute misconduct in that last scrum.
Unbelievable.
And as Buffalo's mounting that comeback and are all over you, and you're trying to give the thing away, Tage Thompson is out. I mean, talk about a win. So you said that was it Zadorov that was out for the? Did he draw 10 there?
Zadorov a peak, right? Too, I think.
Was it peak? I can't remember. It was 72 minutes and penalties in the third period. I'll take Tage Thompson for anyone.
Of course,
honestly, even McAvoy. I think that's a win. I think Tage Thompson's the head of the snake there, and I think Tage Thompson is the thing that you're talking about, Murray, which is he wants to prove he's tough. Because I think he's had a rap over his career that look how big you are.
You don't use your size, you're soft.
Yes,
yeah, for sure.
For a guy that big, how are you that soft? I think he hears that. And so he's trying. I think he's trying to get in there. I mean, you see the scrap he had with Pastrnak in the middle of that thing? Do you want to talk about like a purse fight? Like guys slapping each other with purses? It was like Murray, it was like open-handed slaps. It was embarrassing. And so that last scrum, that last big bleep show happened with their big line on the ice with Tage Thompson and Tuck. And it was Pastrnak and Geekie and like those guys. I mean, and the Bruins forwards kept their heads. Tage Thompson took a 10-minute misconduct.
No, you take that all day. Again, he's probably the best player in the series.
Alejandro's in Nashville. Go ahead, Alejandro.
Hey, guys, 2 quick points. Other than that dirty hit McAvoy made at the end of the game, I feel like I haven't seen him as aggressive or physical as he's been in the past. Wondering if that has to do with all the injuries he's had. And then on another note, every time Hampus Lindholm and Mason Lowe are on the ice together, I'm closing my eyes because I'm just waiting for one of them to crap their pants. I feel like they may need to be there may need to be a change in the pairing.
Murray, you're down on Mason Lowe?
Yeah, he was looking at those 2 goals that went in last night. So part of me wonders, too, if part of that timeout that Swayman was calling for was, listen, we need a change here. Get this liability on skates off the ice. Timeout. Are you paying attention? Because he looked lost in that.
Was he the only minus player on the team? He might have been.
I don't have the sheet.
I'll double check it, but I thought I saw that earlier in the day. I'll check it.
On McAvoy, again, that hit last night was dirty. It was below the borderline. It was borderline, but below the borderline. Brad Marchand special. And if you watch the whole sequence of plays, the North American telecasts don't do a good enough job of rewinding the tape and showing you the things that lead into it. I guarantee you the Canadian broadcast gives you this. But Melanson, I'm sorry, how do you pronounce it? Melanstein, ran McAvoy. So I think it was an offensive zone start for the Bruins. Face off there, and the puck rims around to McAvoy at the point, and McAvoy keeps it in, and Melanson runs him. Kind of from behind, not on the boards, but along the boards, and really throttles him from behind, and McAvoy kind of goes head first into the boards. I don't think it was a dirty hit at all. It came just after McAvoy had released the puck. He was far away enough from the boards. You're allowed to hit guys in the back if they have the puck. So it was clean. It was just a little late, a little dangerous. McAvoy clearly didn't like it because the puck rims back around, and here comes Melanson with the loose puck in front of him. And this has been a thing where the guys have been hitting each other. Both of these games, there's been a lot of hits like this. Dahlin, Samuelson, Zadorov.
Yeah, there have been a bunch of these.
Where the puck is
I know what you mean.
They're it's rimming around the boards, and the forward is going to play it. He's got to put his head down just for a minute, and bam, the defenseman runs him. And this has happened like 3 or 4, handful of times in this series. Big shots. But they're all up top. They're shoulder to shoulder. McAvoy on this one went low intentionally because he was still pissed about getting run by Melanson on that previous little sequence. I wonder if they have a history. Previously, I was trying to look that up today. Melanson's sort of been like a where'd he come from, Kevin? He was traded there from where the hell was he? He was a trade that Buffalo acquired last year, I want to say. And so maybe there's a little bit of a history there with Melanson and McAvoy. But either way, that was a dirty hit. And I don't totally mind it.
He was with Washington.
So maybe, right, thank you. That's what I was saying. So I don't know if they ever ran into each other in the playoffs when it was Washington a couple of years ago. I just don't know. But I think McAvoy has to play more on the edge because the unfortunate part is he's not that good.
So,
he's not one of these high-end defensemen, so he's got to do more the other thing. And that's what I think he did last night. Go ahead.
No. When the caller said that, he hasn't been as aggressive, I thought he was more aggressive last night than he was in game 1. And I would say that both offensively and in terms of his physicality. I thought he was more. When I first saw that hit, I sort of like went, what the hell was that? Was that a hip check? Like I thought, it looked like almost like a hip check.
Low bridge.
But then they showed it, and he did. He totally undercut the guy completely. So, look, I like him better when he's playing a little mean, but this is part of the problem with him that, to the caller's point, when he plays like this, he typically doesn't last.
Well, be that as it may, he has to do it because he's just not going to be the elite 3-zone offensive puck-moving guy. He's not that. It's the jury is in. He's not that. So he's got to be rougher and tougher and play more on the line. Is to get full value out of him, I think. So it was a dirty hit, but I'm kind of in favor. If that makes me a bad person, so be it. We continue with your thoughts on all the goings-on from last night after Big Jim Murray gets you updated here. I want to get to the gossip first.
Everything you said is right.
Felger and Mazz, the Sports Home.
And a full count. Fiala leading well down the line at third, 3-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. That'll do it. 4-0 the final. Red Sox manage a meager 4 hits. The Yankees shut out the Sox at Fenway for the first time since September 19th, 2020.
Well, Conley early went out there and 5 1/3, a couple of walks at the end really hurt him. Still only gave up 3 runs, kept you in the ball game, but it's really a story of the offense. You're searching for some kind of punch, somebody to kind of step up and have that one big game, drive a baseball maybe out of this ballpark because the offense is really flat and it gets tougher the next couple nights.
I know this much. If I were Pete Fatsy, I'd start looking over my shoulder.
Why?
Because they got it.
Not just the fact that they can't hit, which is obvious. You're detecting something. You're detecting an undercurrent coming out of there.
Okay, so again, Sam Kennedy was on the pregame show last night, and Jimmy Stewart gave me the cuts, and it wasn't. If you listen to it, you're going to say it's innocuous. He basically said we need to start hitting. Okay, and that was one of the many comments, some of which will send you into orbit. He also, in part, blamed the lack of power on cold weather, which is asinine. They played in Minnesota last week. The Twins hit 9 home runs in the series. So it's not exactly like it's toasty in Minnesota. The fact of the matter is they don't have power. They built the team poorly. And whether it's Fatsy's fault or not, these guys are going to find a scapegoat soon. If it keeps up like this, they're going to find a scapegoat. And to me, it'll be the hitting coach. They won't fire Cora, I don't think, in the middle of the year. They don't have much of a history of doing that with managers. So to me, they'll ride that one out. And if there's a change with Cora, it'll be after the season. But this is bad.
They're losing because of the offense. They've played 23 games. They've scored 2 runs or fewer in 10 of those 23 games. Their approach at the plate blows. And last night was maybe the best example of it. That Luis Gil he's like the 1 weak link in that Yankee rotation right now. He came into last night's game with an ERA of 7. It dropped 3 points because of their suck approach. So I mostly focused on the 6th inning where he got out of that inning in 5 pitches. They're just up there hacking away. They'll make them work. Are you doing any of your homework? So if someone has to be a scapegoat, maybe it's Fatsy. Maybe it should be. Are they doing any homework on any of these starting pitchers that they're facing to make them work a little bit? It doesn't seem like it.
Second time through the order, the 4th and 5th, 6th, and 6th innings. 5 pitches, 11 pitches, 7 pitches. 23 pitches total to get 9 outs.
To a guy with a 7 ERA.
Right. And what was effectively at the time a 1-0 game. Okay, so all you got to do is, and there were other things that happened in this game that drove me a little crazy, because the Red Sox are easy to pick at right now. It's like a freaking, a shooting gallery. You can pick at anything you want. So they had bad at-bats, quick outs. They put no pressure on the opposition whatsoever. And then, I think it was the 5th or the 6th, it must have been the 5th inning, where Marcelo Meyer was the leadoff man and got hit by a pitch. The next guy up is Caleb Durbin. Okay, Caleb Durbin hasn't made good contact all year. He hits the ball softly. And did you know, I heard this recently and I looked it up, there are like 181 qualifying players among offensive position players in baseball, meaning they've had enough at-bats to qualify for the batting title. Yep. Okay, 181. Caleb Durbin has hit the ball on the ground more than any of them. He has a 60% ground ball rate.
Highest ground ball rate in baseball this year.
Right. So in this era of launch angle, where they are telling guys to hit it in the air, and the Red Sox acquired Durbin and wanting him to hit the ball in the air and take advantage of left field at Fenway Park, he can't do it. He can't do it. So now you've got a leadoff man on in a 1-0 game with a guy who's an out waiting to happen and might hit into a double play. Wouldn't that be a good time to bunt after the manager has talked about using the roster, playing a certain way? This is how we have to do it right now. And I know he's talked largely about the roster. He let him hit. 6-4-3 double play, or actually it was a 6-3 double play because the guy stepped on second.
Tailor-made.
And the ball wasn't remotely hit hard. It was 2 big bounces. Caballero grabbed it, stepped on the bag through the first. Piece of cake. ABC. I could have turned the double play. And he also struck out earlier in the game with a man in scoring position and 2 outs.
First 2 at-bats last night came with men on, strikeout after a 2-out double by Mayer, and then hitting that double play that you're talking about.
I mean, so really, like, what if the guy can't hit? If you can't hit, and this is where the analytics get in the way too, because the analytics don't want you to bunt. We all know that. So, but you have a team that can't rally and can't hit the ball out of the ballpark. You're going to have to scrape out every single run you can. Bunt them over. Hope that you get a single to get him home, or a wild pitch gets him to third and you hit a sac fly. You have no other choice right now. And the Sam Kennedy comment about the home runs with the cold, I'm sorry, I got to hit on this too, because this was pregame, is asinine. Giancarlo Stanton didn't have any trouble hitting the ball out of the ballpark last night. And this is the point. You know why? Because he's a real, legitimate, bona fide major league power hitter. And the Yankees have multiple of them. They have Rice, they have Judge, they have Stanton, they have Bellinger. They got guys with real power that can hit the ball out of any ballpark at any time of year.
To your point, the double he had last night wasn't even great contact, but it was still a decent enough hit because he's a real hitter.
Correct.
Well, I mean, so it's the cold. Let's see. Chicago Cubs, 5th in the league, 5th in Major League Baseball, 5th in all of Major League Baseball in runs scored, 5th. Minnesota Twins are 8th in runs scored. The Yankees are 9th. The Pittsburgh Pirates are tied with the Yankees for 9th. The St. Louis Cardinals are 11th. Washington, I'll give you that, as a cold weather city. It leads the league in runs scored. Doesn't feel like the climate's really hurting those teams.
No, it isn't. It's got nothing to do with the climate.
What a feeble excuse.
And the other thing is, if it does have something to do with the climate, how come your pitching sucks? Shouldn't the pitching benefit from the cold weather? Why does yours blow?
Does it blow? It's team ERA. I just got it in front of me. I'm picking through this.
Well, they were in the 20s before last night.
22nd.
Okay.
That does suck. Sorry.
So, again, bottom 10 in the league.
Yeah.
So their pitching sucks. Their offense sucks.
Mazz, they suck.
They do suck. There's no way around it. They suck.
They suck, and they're kind of unlikable, too.
Very unlikable and boring.
And boring, too,
there's no vibe on that team.
No, they don't have a single redeeming quality.
Or good, bad, or indifferent. I mean, you know what I mean? There's no... you've said it before. It just feels like 25 independent contractors, kind of.
Yep, exactly right.
There's a little, got like a little something from Wilson Contreras when he had that beef with the Brewers, and that sort of woke him up, and then he sort of got into the team, and I guess let him have it during a pregame hitting meeting, and he got hot for a little bit. Like there was a little bit of that's all. Like I remember that little pocket. Other than that, I can't remember a single time this year where it felt like
they were galvanized and come
going
together,
right? Or going in the same direction, Murray? Or
no, none of it.
You don't feel any of it.
No, zero. And I'll tell you, too, this thing will come apart fast, okay? Because right now they got this musical chairs thing going on in the outfield with Roman Anthony, Jarren Duran, Masataka Yoshida. Who am I leaving out? There's someone else. Abreu. Okay. So they got this thing going on, and everybody's got to sit basically every fourth or fifth day. Jarren Duran is having easily the worst year of his career.
He's definitely not going to make it.
Okay? Easily the worst year of his career. Now, and this is, if you want me to give you one glimmer of hope, they can't be this bad. No. And when I say this bad, I mean,
I can see them finishing in last place.
Okay, but Jarren Duran he's not a 160 hitter. You follow me?
Okay.
Like some of these guys are performing way below their career averages. Now, Durbin, I think, sucks.
Yeah, Caleb Durbin is.
Okay, some of them are. But other guys I look at and say, well, he's not great, but he's not this bad either, which is fine. How do you think Jarren Duran's attitude is going to be if he has to take the day off every fourth or fifth day and he can't get out of his slump?
Questionable. It'll be questionable, his attitude.
Okay, I'll tell you what. I don't think it is going to be questionable. I think it's going to go bad. And it's not going to take long. I'm not even going to give him questionable. And I don't mean to pick on you.
Pick me.
I think he will lose his mind if he's not getting on the field and has a legit chance to get out of his funk. And so to me, this thing is a recipe for disaster.
Mix in some Red Sox thoughts. I'm sorry, Murray.
I was just going to say quickly, this is a me thing, old man yelling at the cloud. I don't care. I don't know if you guys are bothered by this, too. Watching that game last night, something bothers me from an aesthetic standpoint, both teams. Take the balaclavas and hoodies off. You want to wear long sleeves because it's a little cold? That's fine. But between Raffaella, Jazz Chisholm, who looks like Nanook from the North like I do in mid-January, up at the plate, you look like a fool. You really do. The big hoodie underneath the jersey, and they're covered up like this. It was in the 40s last night. It's a little chilly. It's not that bad. It's a stupid look for baseball players.
Would they dress like that during a playoff game?
Soft. Yeah, probably. They just want to be warm. So there, make some Red Sox thoughts into our conversation so far. Long commercial-free segment is next.
Now, more of Felger and Mazz. Now, on the Sports Hub.
You talk about the offseason and the way this team was put together, and we talk so much about it, and Craig Breslow was up front. The way it worked out, this is a team built on pitching and defense. We did not expect there to be a lot of power. There is not. You're last in home runs right now. Can the team succeed without ramping up the home run power?
Yeah, we definitely can. There's lots of ways to score runs. That said, we got to start hitting the ball out of the ballpark. It's obviously you're seeing Wilson do his thing, and Abreu has shown signs, but I think a lot of guys are going to start to heat up. And I was actually talking to folks from the other side today, and they just said that, this cold weather, you're going to start to see a lot more home runs. They had a lot of home runs last week. It was 80 degrees in New York City. So, listen, let's get a little home cooking, little warm weather, and hopefully get going. But it has been frustrating.
It's an embarrassing comment. Other teams are playing in cold weather, too. Like, okay, fine. Yeah, there are a handful of teams that play in warm weather in Major League Baseball. And just because I have a bone to pick, and when I say bone to pick, just, my ass is red from the Red Sox.
Red ass.
At the moment, I do. I have the red ass. So, at least I hear Sam recognizing, like, for him, that qualifies as a cannon shot. Okay, we got to start hitting the ball out of the ballpark. That tells me, like, they're getting anxious.
Yeah.
Okay, so the one thing I will say, of all the guys over there in the ownership group, I think the guy who cares the least is Tom Werner. So I got to get that one off my chest. I don't think he gives a flying fish whether they win or lose. I don't think he cares one lick based on the comment he made on opening day. I can at least look at Henry and say he doesn't like the embarrassment that comes with losing, and he doesn't want to win the way they won in the past. He wants to win his way, but he's out of touch with what the feeling is among players and the emotional part, the emotional impact on a player's performance. No idea. Sam is just selling happy horse crap, but at the end of the day, I don't think Sam likes losing either. Werner does not care. Does not care. Rather would be on a plane to Paris. Based on how he talked on opening day, wouldn't even address the issue. Made some comment about the, we prefer to think positively or whatever it is. Can one of them please get angry at the team? Can one of them do that? Is that asking too much? Can one of them empathize with the fan base and say, we've let you down? Because what this team is right now is a freaking joke. It's a joke. Sorry, I didn't mean to go on.
No, it's great.
Why are you apologizing?
I had to look this up, too, because remember last Friday we had the MLB Network on. There was a game between the Rockies and the Dodgers where they were clearing snow off the field in Colorado that day.
Yes, that's
they
right.
ended up playing it. First pitch was 35 degrees. So the cold, you don't expect a lot of pop in that lineup from either team. Dodgers won 7-1. Max Muncy had 2 home runs in that game. Go F yourself with the talk of it being too cold. What a crock.
Another real power hitter. Maybe if you had a couple of those, you wouldn't be talking about being the most impotent team in Major League Baseball.
Jerry and Marble, your thoughts?
I mean, how is Breslow not the guy here? I mean, their payroll is high enough, right? I mean, this roster is a disgrace. There's nothing there. It's gross. How do you let Bregman get away from you? The guy can't close a deal. Their payroll's up there, right?
Well, 12th.
12th in cash.
So I do start with Breslow. He's still blame pie. He gets the biggest slice for me. But when you get into the teens in terms of payroll, you're now asking your personnel people to sort of thread the needle. And again, it's not like you're 19th, you're 12th, but you obviously have to cut some corners. So the team should be better based on its payroll, but I don't know how great it should be at 12.
Agreed.
So,
I mean, what's best case? 84, 85 wins?
I mean, Murray
when you watch it?
Oh, I mean, no. Looking at the roster, I don't know how they matched last year, especially now. Murray, what did you say? So at 9-14, the Red Sox need to go 80-59. That's a .576 winning percentage the rest of the way, just to match their 89 win total from last season. They don't have the horses to do that.
Yeah, good luck with that. No shot.
I don't think they have the kind of team to do that.
No, they don't. Not to do that. No. And the worst part is too, they're getting demoralized. Does Roman Anthony look even remotely like the same player that he looked like in the middle of last season?
The WBC. You don't have to go back that far.
Absolutely. He had the swag. He was swagger at the WBC. He got here, just another guy.
Been beaten down.
Cam in Wakefield. Yes, Cam.
How'd you guys like? Bottom of the 7th, 1 out, 2 on. Your 4th pick in the draft comes up against your biggest rival. And nope, let's pinch hit Monasterio to immediately pop out. How many times is Cora going to pinch hit for Meyer in a big spot? That kid's confidence is going to be out the window before he even makes a real start. I'll hang up and listen.
Yeah, and he doubled earlier in the game. I know it was a bloop, but
he got on base twice. He was one of the few guys who was actually getting on base in the game.
On base twice, and your only extra base hit of the night. And I wouldn't pitch hit for him, and I'd play him every day. I know he hasn't been good this year.
I wouldn't hit for him either. I'd let him go, but he's a $196. Okay, so and again, weigh all this out. The young guys are not playing well. They're not playing well. So this thing is affecting them. You are now affecting the young players who are supposed to be your centerpiece guys for the next 5 years. If they go down the toilet, forget it. Bone City.
We are residing in Bone City today on the outskirts of Porktown. It was a complete crap show last night across the city of Boston, even in victory. I contend that Bruins game was a crap show. Bruins, Red Sox. Let's get to the Celtics. And your calls. You're calling on the Bruins or the Sox. Stay right there. We're just going to mix them all together and get to you after Big Jim Murray gets you updated. 90 seconds, no commercials.